if you thought that Day 1 Rush Duel could be bad, that Day 1 Rush Duel on Duel Links could fail, I'm glad to announce that you were obviously wrong, and Rush Duel will be amazing since day 1, since the start, and it could also be one of the best metas we ever had on Duel Links. So just stop fighting Rush Duel, enjoy Rush Duel. If Rush Duel goes very well, this means that we will have better events for even speed duels, since we don't have nice Duel Links events since a lot of time. So this is the time where Duel Links can start to shine once again, and hopefully we'll get better content later on. Thank you, the Rush Duel. But now let's talk about Rush Duel. Quick analysis about the trailer and some thoughts about the potential meta that we'll have. If you think that Rush Duel will only be some vanilla beatdown, you're wrong. We already have a lot of effect monsters that do things and that are very interesting. And this trailer, it's the proof that the game will be kinda deep. It's a game that casual players can really enjoy against in PvE, against other casual players. Just summon things in attack position and keep attacking until one of the two players will obviously lose or of their life points, right? But this trailer shows something very interesting. This duel goes ahead for a bit of time, and it shows this situation where the main character just sets 3 monsters, and the opponent is not able to win, even if he has 300 life points. This creates a situation where, since both of the players are low, if he sets 3 monsters and he survives next turn, if he draws the right number of cards, he could attack and win, right? Like, for example, here we have a monster that has just 1000 attack. If you draw the right number of cards, next turn you can summon something and beat down this guy here that has 1100, and win, removing the last 1700 life points of the opponent. This means that when you play competitively, it's very important to be careful, and so the meta will revolve, in my opinion, around how to go through this situation where your opponent starts to wall up. Like, if he starts to wall up like this, if every turn he just sets 3 monsters and I can just attack 3 times, because right now looks like we don't have removal, or at least not a lot of removal, right? How do I win? Like, I have more life points, I have a lot of very strong monsters on board, but I can't win, because, for example, he can keep setting 3 monsters every turn and then wait for the right moment to summon something in attack position and beat down my monsters. So you're never safe. How do you win in this situation? And this is where the meta develops. So now we know that, for example, we have Dark Magician. We still don't have the full box. Maybe it will announce it tomorrow on 27th of September 2023, of course, or later. And we will discover if we have removal, some kind of removal or not. But for example, right now we have Dark Magic attack, but we don't have the knives that destroy a monster. So even if you play Dark Magician that has his own skill, we don't know if we'll get some kind of removal that you can use with in a Dark Magician deck. If you have a removal, for example, if you have the knives of Dark Magician, I don't remember the perfect name, you could destroy one monster, destroy the other 2 monsters by attacking, and then your 3rd monster can attack directly and deal the finishing blow. So the meta will revolve, will move around, being able to remove one monster or change the battle position of a monster and then attack. Or be able to do some damage. For example, with a spell like Pierce, or with monsters that have the effect to let you attack directly. For example, this one. Like maybe your opponent is walling up, but you are able to summon the thing and make one of your monsters to attack. For example, there is a normal spellcaster monster that is able to do, he has 1500 attack. So with the effect of this guy here, you could be able to deal 1500 and close the game. So there are you need to understand that there are a bunch of cards that you need in your deck to finish off your opponent when you play competitively, of course, because I think they will program the CPU so that lets something in attack so that you can attack over that monster. Or I don't know, maybe they will give the CPU a lot of high level monsters so that at a point the CPU won't be able to wall up anymore. You will be able to attack with your 3 monsters, one of your 3 monsters directly. Otherwise, in competitive, if someone starts to do something like this, you will be in trouble if you don't have answers. So now let's take a look at this answer. For first, I think this monster is pretty good. Your opponent life points needs to be at least 2000 higher than yours. But for example, here if you have 300 and he has 2500, right? You can use that card, reduce his life points, and then attack and finish him off. So cards that reduce life points are not bad, in my opinion, are very good. This will be limited to 3, and not for nothing, there is a reason. This is probably one of the few cards that can move a monster from defense positions to attack position. This means that if you move a monster to attack position, and then for example use an effect like this, that reduces the attack of the enemy monsters, then you can beat down over a monster that for example will have 0 attack because you reduce this attack. Lightning Bolt Condor looks like it's the stronger level 7 monsters, but this thing here, being able to wall up, means that you don't need to have a monster like this that reduces the attack and defense to every monster, because if they're face down, you can reduce anything. So you can also play other level 7 monsters like Road Magician, for example. So every level 7 that gets attack or reduces attack is kinda good, for example. Even if this is probably the one that is overall more useful in some situation. Even for example, if you use Pierce, having Road Magician is better, because you can get a lot of attack, then Pierce, and maybe you're able to finish off your enemy. So this already shows that a lot of level 7 high monsters are valuable for doing damage. And you need, as I said, monsters that let you do damage. This is one of them. This is another potential solution. Pierce is an amazing card. And there is also this card here that could look bad, but it's actually amazing. Because if your opponent draws 5 cards, sets 3 monsters, and sets 2 cards, and then use this shit, you deal 2000 damage to your opponent. If you do 2000 damage to your opponent, you can very easily finish off your opponent. So this is an amazing card that can help you finish off the opponent and win the duel when your opponent starts to wall up. So another of the cards that can help you end duels, another very strong important card for the starting meta. Here we have another good card. Right now they didn't show better traps than this one, because traps that will reduce the attack of the opponent monsters will help you take the opponent by surprise. For example, you could think that he's about to win you, instead he makes a miscalculation and maybe his monster dies after he attacks your monster because you lowered his attack, and then next turn you just finish him off because he doesn't have 3 monsters anymore on board, but he just have 2, so you can attack with 3 and one can attack directly, for example. So amazing trap. And then we have other solutions, not burning, not piercing, even if you can apply piercing to some good monsters. We have Multi-Strike Dragon. we have another card that can attack twice. This could look bad, but if you're able to destroy two monsters, and then destroy the third monster with this one that kills 1000, so the enemy monster has to be less than 1000 defense, of course, but like it's not like there are so many monsters that have a lot of defense. Then you can attack once again and deal 1000 damage, and in some situations 1000 damage could be more than enough. Of course, Dragias is even better because this is a potential 5000 attack damage, especially with Pierce. This is amazing. And then we have this card right now, right here, that could be the stronger card in the game. Like, you send dragon step monster from your end to the graveyard, and then you destroy all the monsters on the field. You can even special summon one level 4 monster. So if you draw 5, right, and you get this card plus 4 dragons, use this shit here, you destroy everything, you summon one level 4 from your graveyard, you summon one more dragon type from your end, and then you can potentially do around 3000 damage to your opponent for free after you removed every of his very strong monsters. This card is very, very powerful. Crazy powerful, in my opinion. Even better if you set this card and use this card next turn after you draw 5 cards. Now you can destroy everything and then summon 2 monsters from your end plus 1 monster from the graveyard. This can potentially even almost end the duel, almost TotK the opponent. So if this is limited to 3, I think they should limit this card to 3 too, at least, if not even worse, like limit 1 or limit 2. And now we see a lot of decks that are viable. We have very good skills. We will have a dragon deck for sure. We can have a full spellcaster deck revolved around fire cards and maybe some other elements to boost Rod Magician. We can have a deck based, for example, on Lightning Bolt Condor, and the other card that moves monsters in attack position, or using maybe Pierce to deal the finishing blow. There are a lot of possibilities, a lot of potentially valuable decks, and we didn't see already the full box, the full new box that can potentially have even more good cards and even more good decks potentially. So this was my analysis. I think I will stream this alongside my streams of Baldur's Gate 3, and I think I will start to bring some content, maybe, because I like the game. I play speed Duel Links since like 5 years probably, and I almost totally dropped it because it started getting boring in my opinion. Like, people complains, think that this could be bad, but right now Duel Links is very similar to Master Duel to full TCG, where you just put your board, your combo every turn, the exact same combo down, and then you hope that your opponent had a worse hand than you. Here instead there is a lot of back and forth. You can always flip the table. So I think that this meta will really be one of the best meta we ever had on a Yu-Gi-Oh format, and at least on Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links. I'm Jack. Thank you for taking a look at this video. I'm open to everything you can say in the comment. Let's have a chat if you want. Try to be polite, and if you want, take a look at my other contents or follow me on Twitch to talk with me live whenever you want. Have a nice day. Bye bye.